Audio.
As we know, the July Watchtower 2011 made the bold statement that really ruffled a tremendous amount of feathers by saying that those people, those Jehovah's Witnesses that have left the organization, have left because they are mentally diseased.
Monkeyphilia? Monkeyphilia, not mental disease. Monkeyphilia, not a mental disease. It's in the penis. Penis what monkey? Not mental. I'm not mental. Seriously? I just had to do it. It's not in my brain, it's my penis. It wants monkey. I can't help it. I was born this way. Lady Gaga. I was born this way. I can't help it. It's not my brain, it's my penis. It goes on talking about, I just need to keep, my conscience requires me to keep talking about how, like, whatever, free societies have to stay the hell out of religion. It's kind of messy and ugly, meaning almost everybody who gets screwed by the Watchtower has a really, really, really good defamation case. But you got to think about, when it comes to things like this, you have to think about chilling effect. So, whatever, we don't want the government to have the power to make decisions about whether your religion's nuts or not. And everybody should be able to recognize that. Most people who don't think their religions are nuts have a hard time grasping that. But, like, it's extremely important to recognize that, whatever, yes, everybody who gets screwed by the Watchtower has an extremely good defamation case. But in order to uphold a defamation case, you have to, like, make a conclusion about what God wants. So it's basically impossible. Like, it would be a very negative thing for the society to actually give the government the power to do stuff like that. So it's all, like, whatever. And it's all very clear. So yeah, they defame people. They cause harm to people. They cause mental turmoil. They deprive people of access to their families. They kill children and brag about it. They use, gangster-like tactics to keep their untrue crap true. It's basically impossible for a free society to regulate that without really causing more problems than... You don't ever want... it boils down to, you don't ever want the government to make decisions about whether your beliefs about God are nuts or not. Because that's kind of the central core issue with freedom of religion is that the government shall not enter to tell you what God wants. So in that sphere, it's basically impossible. The British hate speech laws. Speech is speech. It's not free speech. If you do actually hate somebody or some class of people, you have laws saying you can't say so. Whatever. But there's an edge to it of, like, where hate speech or speech would rise to the level of threat. But in general, it's extremely important that the most heinous, was it Justice Souter, I think. The only defensible response to bad speech is more speech. So whatever, shouting it down is the healthy. Shouting it down, calling it out, making fun of it loudly is the only. We don't want the government to have. It's a bad idea to give the government the authority to decide some things, such as what's worth saying or not. What's legitimate belief in God and what's crazy. You know, as soon as you open that door. So, and all these things in civil freedom, civil rights, it avoids wars and conflicts. So people forget. We get all lazy. Whatever, out here in the free world, we get all lazy thinking that, whatever, everything's guaranteed and whatever. It's not the way it is. These are all you need to understand history and then all these types of protections. It boils down to you don't ever want the government making a decision like that. It's not about whether the particular case is anecdotes are terrible. So things like the guy in Canada was suing the Watchtower for hiding his daughter from him as they killed her ass. She had cancer, and the treatment involved a blood transfusion, so they took her and hid her mom and her. But at the same time, even if she's under mind control, her daughter was on that side, meaning she wanted to go that direction. So it sucks balls, but having a government that can decide such things for us can suck balls a lot worse. We could turn into... Can't think of a recent example. Could turn into Iran.
This morning, Tuesday, the 27th of September, 2011, on the Telegraph, we read, Police inquiry over Jehovah's Witnesses magazine mentally diseased article, an official magazine for Jehovah's Witnesses that describes those who leave the church as mentally diseased, is at the center of a police inquiry, it has emerged. Detectives are investigating whether the article published in July's edition of the Watchtower is in breach of Britain's religious hatred laws. The article published in the magazine, which is distributed by Jehovah's Witnesses across the globe, reportedly warned followers to avoid false teachers, which it condemned as being mentally diseased. Suppose that a doctor told you to avoid contact with someone who is infected with a contagious, deadly disease. Part of the article stated, you would know what the doctor means, and you would strictly heed his warning. Well, apostates are mentally diseased, and they seek to infect others with their disloyal teachings. A group of former witnesses based in Portsmouth have made an official complaint